This is 7 minutes in the morning for Wednesday, December the 11th, 2013. Yes, indeed, this is 7 minutes in the morning, the show that gives you your daily dose from the business coach. My name is Thom Rigsby, the aforesaid business coach. So, how y'all doing this week? We're up to Wednesday. And this week we've been talking about recognizing your team. That's something that we like to do at the end of the year. A lot of businesses do, and something that we should be doing all year long. So, a little bit of a tough topic today. We've talked about how to recognize or give our team members an opportunity to do great things. Sometimes we have to take a different road. Sometimes there's a team member that's having an overall negative impact on the team. They might be a great salesman, but everybody else in the company hates being around them. Or they may be the most dependable person you have, and they'll still take every opportunity to throw anybody under the bus that they can. Sometimes, for the good of the team, you have to let those people move on to their next opportunity. Now, labor laws being as they are, they're different just about everywhere. Whatever you do, make sure that your plan is legal, and that's not something that I can give you advice about, but I am going to tell you how I might go about that. So, fairly straightforward. There's 3 parts to it. Quick and easy, just like a Band-Aid. Okay, it's never quick and easy. Who am I trying to fool? But here, let's get into it. So, part 1. Always give them a chance to change their behavior. Just talk to them about it. Tell them what the problem is and ask them if they want to change their behavior, right? Whether they do or not is their choice, and that's fine. That's a choice is something I talk about all the time, but you have to give them the choice, right? If they say yes, okay, I'm willing to do that, then while you're sitting there with them, write up a plan for how they're going to change the specific things that need to be changed, and put a timeline on it. These are SMART goals, right? We talked about SMART before: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. If you'll use that format to come up with those goals, then they'll know what they need to do and the time frame they need to do it, and you'll have a way to measure their progress, right? Whatever you do, don't just talk to them and they say, yeah, I'll do better, and then leave it at that, right? You've got to have a plan that both of you agree to so that you're on the same page. Now, if they say they don't want to change, or maybe they don't see anything wrong with what they're doing, well, then it's time to move on to step number 2. Now, step 2, in the very same meeting, just go ahead and encourage them to pursue other opportunities, right? Now, this may seem drastic, but you've already decided that their behavior is bad for the company as a whole. That's why you're having this conversation with them in the first place, right? So don't let it linger. Don't hope that they'll get better. They're having a bad month, whatever. Just let them move on and tell them that it's a good time to pursue that, right? Tell them that if they will pursue this transition in a professional manner, that you'll even give them a good recommendation letter, if they deserve it, right? I mean, if they are a good salesman but nobody can stand them, then write a letter that says they're a good salesman. That's truthful and honest, and something that you wouldn't mind turning over to a future employer. Now, otherwise, if they don't want to handle it in a professional manner, then just go ahead and let them go. I mean, there's nothing worse than an employee who's planning on leaving, sticking around, poisoning the well, and making everybody else's life miserable, right? Go ahead and let them leave. Now, part 3 here is obviously the second most important part, but it's just as important as dealing with this troubled employee. And that is, regardless of the decision, whether they decide to stay or go, it's important that you communicate with the rest of the team. Right? Now, don't throw this person under the bus, right? They have been at some point a valuable member of your team, and you want to respect them, and you also don't want to demonstrate that if you don't like somebody, you'll talk bad about them to the rest of the team. Respect them as a person, but communicate with the team and let them know that you've heard from them, you've addressed the topic, and then let them know what's going on. right? Either Bob's going to make some changes, or going to be working on making some changes, so just be aware of that. Or Bob has decided to pursue other opportunities and he's moving on. Either way, by recognizing that, by them hearing that you've heard their objections, right? Then that's going to encourage them and let them know that you are listening. That's something that we talked about on Monday, right? You also want to be sure when you're talking about, in either case, when you're talking about this employee with the rest of the team, you want to be sure and let them know that the reason that they're moving on, the reason you addressed is because they're not projecting the values that you want to project as a business. All right. As I said, there's a lot more to that. Make sure that you're on the right side of the law wherever you are. So that's going to do it for today. Remember our sponsor, audible.com. You can get to them, 7minutesinthemorning.com/audible. So until tomorrow, my name is Thom Rigsby, and I am your business coach. Now, turn that on and turn that on. Can you say, hi, Lindley?
Hi, Lily.
Say 7 minutes in the morning.
Mommy.
Yeah, that's close enough. I love you.
Mommy.